May 15th, 2017, the day after Mother's Day. Did you all have a good Mother's Day? That's nice. Anyway, it's going to be quiet today because Jimmy's not here. He said I fired him, but I didn't really fire him. I just told him I said, take a couple weeks off, and then he tweeted, Kevin kicked me off the show, so I wish the show all the success in the world. Then, of course, he tags Cumia and Keith the Cop like you don't have to... What are you trying to do? So he's obviously looking for trouble. But I told him, I said, take 2 weeks off because it's like it gets to be too loud here. Like, first of all, like when Jimmy's good, he's good. But when he's not good, he's just loud. And he talks about getting his dick sucked. You know, it's like... It's like something, but after a while you're like, all right, we get it. You like getting your dick sucked, but that's not news. So he just, so I whenever we've gotten into a fight in the past, I say, Jimmy, you can't yell. I go, first of all, a black guy yelling is like a black guy stealing. It's like, it's nothing novel about it. So it's one thing if I'm screaming because white guys don't scream. Black guys all scream. Every black comic screams. So, so I said, Jimmy, you don't have to scream. You're funny. Just talk normal. He comes in, he screams. So I said, take a couple weeks off because fans bitch all the time about, Jimmy this. I know fans like him, but they bitch that he's too loud or that he's too this, too that. And then, if I have him every week, then they start turning on me. And one guy actually goes, I cancel my subscription. Because of Jimmy. So I told that to Jimmy when I was talking yesterday on the phone, and he goes, well, yeah, but how about all the people that signed up? He goes, I know 2 people that signed up because of me. I'm like, well, that's 2 people that's not exactly the numbers we're looking for. So, so then it was just like back and forth, and then, and then he's like, but people, another thing is people, I invite people on the show, and then they say, is the black guy going to be there? No, because they saw the fight. Everyone saw that almost went viral. That went local viral, and so people say, "Is Jimmy going to be there?" Because they don't want to be in the fucking crosshairs of some fight, right, Mike?
No, I don't think so.
Mike Racine's here, everybody. He's the first guest to shut up. This is like a fucking bad party. The Bob DeBono was supposed to be. He's stuck on a train in Secaucus. That sounds like a Jimmy excuse. And then Tim is. I thought you guys were coming together.
I spoke to him this morning. He's on his way. So,
where does he live?
Astoria.
Oh, so he got stuck in the train too.
Yeah,
you guys used to do a podcast together.
Yeah, we had a food podcast for a little bit. But
I see you're always tweeting about, or are you always Facebooking about food?
Yeah, I like food. I like making pasta and stuff like that. I make pizzas at home. It's like
is that your girlfriend likes that too?
Yeah.
And she works.
Yeah.
And then she comes home when you make her some food.
Yeah.
And she likes that.
Yeah.
I'm the best interviewer of all time. No, because it's like my wife would love that if I did that. But I used to cook for myself, but then I got out of the habit. And now I hate
such a pain in the ass to... Yeah, it's a pain in the ass to buy everything and make it and clean it up.
It's a nightmare. And then you got to fucking clean it. And then like, it's just even when my wife cooks, like, I know you save money, but I got to clean. And it's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
And she uses everything every utensil in the kitchen. If she knows I'm there to clean up after her.
I was rolling lasagna sheets yesterday. I was like, I wish I was dead. This is like awful.
Yeah, but what are you doing it for then?
It's kind of fun once it's done and you have some friends over and,
So you have like, you have
Tim.
Yeah. UPS guy?
Yeah.
We should bring him on. UPS guy, isn't it a little early for shorts? I was watching Tim's gay, is that right?
Yeah.
And how long has he been out?
I think like a couple of years, maybe 4 years.
And you guys always know him as gay, or you know him when...
I did, yeah. It's weird when you first meet him, though.
Because he doesn't seem gay, right?
He doesn't seem gay. He's pretty gay.
He give you like a gay handshake to let you know that
that
he's on that side. No, does he have like a boyfriend and everything?
Not that I know of.
So he doesn't talk about that.
You know? Have you seen his body?
No, I know. He's like a gay Chris Farley.
Yeah.
So wait, so he doesn't have like a gay lifestyle. He's just gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, he wears like FDNY shirts and he eats pie.
So you guys had a cooking thing, and you were cooking.
It was like a little, no, it was like a food podcast. It was loosely, associated with food because every podcast it feels like needs like some kind of gimmick,
You guys, were you guys trying to sell it to like a Food Network or something? Because that's like a thing, right?
Yeah, well, when he gets here, we tested for a Food Network TV show called Hot Spots, and it was like a bunch of like food personalities and like me and Tim, and it was so weird because it's people who are seriously like trying to be on the Food Network. Yeah.
Because even back in the day when all that shit started, everyone was saying like, "Why don't you got to do like a funny food show?" I'm like, well,
yeah.
Doesn't everybody want to do like a funny food show?
Did you see that video of Bill Burr making that pie crust? That was kind of entertaining.
No.
Yeah.
He made it. He just standing by himself and made a pie crust.
Yeah.
I guess when you have like 18 million Twitter followers, like everything becomes like an event.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out.
I'd rather watch a guy. They never show anybody like eating. Look at him. So he's so like fucking annoying, but he's so annoying. Like he's always like, I'm just from Boston. But he lives in L.A. He's totally L.A., right?
Yeah.
He's always tweeting about the fucking the Bruins. Look at this. What a so somebody's taping it for him, right? Somebody's filming him.
Yeah.
It's not like Facebook living it.
No.
And then he's got the fucking God. He's so white. And then he's got the dumb fucking cab driver cap on. But he's Bill Burr, so everything is interesting because he talks like it's like I can't believe it. But it's making pie.
But I feel like with food, it's better if you have somebody with a personality that you like as opposed to what they make. It doesn't really matter what they're cooking, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't everybody. So yeah, but the whole cooking personality thing, isn't that done? Like, they've been doing that on TV for years, like Letterman and all that. And I just saw some Ellen DeGeneres where someone ate some pizza and they were like. That became like a big thing.
Cole Kidman, I think. Was
yeah.
Like,
so doesn't everybody who has a successful restaurant, don't they all want to have like a TV show because it sells the shit out of the restaurant, right?
Yeah, I think so.
What the fuck is Bill Burr making pie? What is he like? What is it? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Is he trying to like show that he's he's not a Neanderthal? Like he does all this and he's making a apple pie.
I think it's just the crust.
And it probably did like 1 million fucking views.
Yeah.
That's when I would just want to when I see this shit, I'd just be like, it's unbelievable. So he's going off the thing and it's like, look, I'm making a pie. Here's Tim. Right on cue. Send him in. You live in, where do you live? Brooklyn?
Yeah, I'm in Bed-Stuy.
All right.
Yeah.
How's the neighborhood?
It's nice. There's like luxury condos going up and stuff. Yeah, there's like
You don't live in a luxury condo, do you?
No, I don't.
You live in a brownstone?
Yeah, it's like a 3-unit building.
You live with your girlfriend?
No, not yet.
Oh, you don't? Who you live with?
It's my brother and another kid.
Your brother?
How's it going, Tim?
I'm sorry, I was in the wrong building. How are you, sir? Thank you for having me. I forgot how under wraps this whole thing is. You got no signs downstairs. There's no sign on the door.
He was here. When's the last time
I was here with Gavin. I don't know, before the election.
Oh yeah.
Tim called me. He was like, "Is it going to be like us and Cale Hartman?"
Yeah, I didn't know what it was going to be. I was like, what exactly?
What is it like what do you mean? You wanted like a cooking thing or a segment?
What?
I don't understand.
We were just talking about food.
Oh.
Yeah, but you're political?
I'm not really political, but this network's kind of political.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys.
I just pretend I'm not even here.
You're sort of
pretend I'm like renting the space.
No, and it's fun. It's funny. It's just like it's so hidden.
It's funny looking at the other offices that are in here.
I said downstairs, I'm like, is there a compound media here? The guy at the door just stares at me. I'm like, should I knock or what do you want? Should I have a tattoo that proves
he has
no idea what's happening.
He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he's sitting he's in a vent. He's not even at the.
I don't know what they pay him, but it's too much.
It's way too much.
Because even the first time I came here, I was gonna go like, hey, I'm going, and he doesn't even want to.
He doesn't care.
He didn't want to hear it.
Sign in. Yeah, okay. So I signed in.
He said sign in?
Yeah, he's like, sign in.
Dude,
you weren't even at your desk. I got you. I went.
Oh, I know that he don't want you to
never
sign in. He's doing it to punish you.
Yeah, I went and found him in the back. He was in the back. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but
I know what he was doing.
You know.
Anyway, so yeah, we don't do politics because what are you gonna do with politics?
Great. It's every day, all day. It's getting annoying.
No, it's like Facebook is like
It's too much.
It really is. It's just so lame, and it's
it is when I first started doing stand up. The only thing you didn't know stuff about people's political positions.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Ray Romano didn't read the New York Times because the print was too small, but that's all I knew.
Right.
So I didn't know if that meant I guess that meant he was probably Republican.
Right. Right.
But now it's like I'm like, oh, that guy's this guy's this.
I think
Everybody in California is left wing, so and they all think they're fucking heroes, but everybody is. So how are you a hero if you're doing what everybody else does?
comedians think they're gonna be the wall between civilization collapsing. What
do you mean?
Well, they think that they're the ones that are gonna come out and be like they're gonna have the argument that's gonna win.
Yeah,
it's gonna come out of the mouth of a comedian.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
I don't know how you guys feel, but comedians, I think they all think they're like heroes because on stage they get laughs and they're like, what I say is important.
Right.
Yeah. Something like it's delusional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure
but it's
is.
like a necessary thing. You have to be like a little delusional, go up on stage every night and be like, I'm important.
It's so much harder to be like legitimately funny.
What do you mean?
Than to say something political. Because usually stuff that's funny is enjoyed by everybody.
Everyone, they vote kind of unanimously. If it's funny, they just all laugh, and it's just basically a unanimous, like, we agree with you or we support what you're saying.
There's nobody that changes their political opinion.
Never.
Like sitting there being like,
Yeah.
I was at Side Splitters in Tampa the other night, and the guy said something brilliant about fucking, like no one says that.
No, and also everyone's like, these guys and these guys are not even good comics, and then they have these political positions, and you're like, are you fucking serious? Like, why don't you work on your act? Like, I just saw a guy do 20 minutes, and he's terrible, and he's a hack.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he takes these right wing positions, and I'm like, man, you're an idiot.
It makes money now. There's like an economy in that. Oh, it's making a lot of money, man. All the big podcasts have a political angle. Like
really?
A lot of comics.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot.
You go like ultra left, Kevin.
Yeah.
Somebody said just like, when Trump won,
dreadlocks or something. And,
yeah.
Trump won. When Trump won, somebody goes, you got it. He goes, the money's good. That's where the money is now, going like far right, like Nick DiPaolo.
No, that's not the money. The money is being
going against the grain.
Going against the grain.
What's going against the grain?
Well, Tim and I thought that
Trump, but everyone's going that way, aren't they?
Yeah, I think Tim and I thought that Hillary was going to win, and then we could keep being who we were, which
would be
is like pieces of shit,
kind of ornery heels. And then, like, I remember when Trump won, I was at some thing. I was at like a show with a bunch of other comics. We do it. It was like on public access or some shit. And these women were throwing themselves on the floor crying, like white, wealthy women. And I just said, "Get up! What are you doing? What the hell's wrong with you?"
That was the night of the election.
They started screaming at me, and they're like, "You white piece of shit!" And
called you straight, didn't they?
Yeah, they're like, "You straight white fucking." They're all white. I'm like,
Where was this?
At the Manhattan Neighborhood Network. And
it was the night of the election.
Night of the election, man. And and there was a guy.
You were there by accident?
No, I was there as a comic on a panel, and the guy next to me was dressed up like a banana. He was crying. And I said to him, that's how I knew Trump won. I wasn't even watching TV. I said, well, this banana's crying. So I guess Trump's the president. I mean,
I saw your Trump video. Did they pay the New York Times talk you into that?
No, that was fake. I didn't undo the New York Times. We just did it like
so I'm an idiot.
No, it worked. That's what we wanted.
Totally fake news.
We thought that was going to be.
It does look like a New York Times.
I thought the kid was
video.
I thought he was too young to be with the New York Times.
No, most comedians now are 16.
No, but I'm saying
I want people that have a real voice.
Yeah.
17, 18-year-old kids seem to have the most life experience.
I'm like the perfect target audience for them. I'm like, oh my God, did you see him on the New York Times?
Yeah.
Forward it to my mom.
Yeah.
You got to see this kid.
Yeah.
Because I believed it because it had the logo. That's all I need. All I need is a fucking logo.
Hey, man. It worked.
It did. Did you get a lot of hits?
No. It's like one of these things.
Who's making money on political podcasts?
A lot of people. Go through the top 100 podcasts.
Yeah. And it's comics or just political?
It's political, it's social, it's commentary that is centered around either identity politics.
They're left. It's left.
It's all left. I mean, then there's some
listen
right.
to Two Dope Queens?
No.
So like they're an example.
My wife listens to them, and I'll go. And then she goes, oh well, they have a stand-up show. I go, that's not a fucking podcast. It's a stand-up show.
The stand-up
right?
show's really funny. I haven't listened to the show, so I don't know what they do. But I know that
you're killing time with a stand-up thing. Isn't that easier? Is that really a podcast or is it a stand-up show?
I don't know.
But
I know that the
show?
commentary.
It's just stand-up.
I know that left-leaning commentary, like if you go to...
but no, I'm just saying, like, if right now I could cut to a guy doing 10 minutes, I would love that. So I could just go back, you know?
Sure, I agree with you. But...
What's the appeal of the show? Because they're two dope queens.
I think the appeal of the show is that...
we did 3 dope
there
kings.
There are people in society that's not going to... I don't think 3 dope kings will work.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't, as a white guy...
3 white
black
kings.
Women talking.
3 white kings.
A marginalized group of people. Gay people, trans people, black people, Muslims, whoever that is marginalized. Everyone that is not a straight white guy, which this business has decided that I'm a straight white guy. I can't really even fight that anymore.
You have to do a YouTube thing of you, like, blowing a guy.
It wouldn't even matter. They'd be like, look how hateful he's doing it. He's doing it in a homophobic way.
He's straight
like it's
passing.
a sandwich.
It's annoying. So it's just any group of people that has been, and I understand this, denied the chance to speak. If they're speaking, it's got to be good.
The thing that kills me is like when you work at the comedy clubs here. You know, they like I've said this before, they don't root for white guys. Like the audience will automatically root for a black guy. Like Greer Barnes has fucking 5 kids with 4 different women. But they'll root for him because he can't get a break, you know?
I mean, he's amazing, though. I mean, he is a great
fuck.
comic,
So he's like a progressive. And then when you watch him on Facebook.
This is behind the paywall, right? This is behind like all of the paywalls.
Watch him on Facebook. His Facebook posts are like, you know, we got to overcome. Like, put a condom on. Like you're like the problem. You're not the solution. You're the reason people hate black people.
Well,
because you have you're who's paying for your fucking kids? You're not with your Comedy Cellar $75 spot. It's a fucking joke. Nothing.
I don't know.
Anyway, here's the point. Here's the point.
I don't know him.
Here's the point. It's
just
just
pasta before you got here.
Oh, here's the point.
I told him. I said, if I come on this thing, it's gonna go right to where.
Here's the point. Here's the point. It's a fucking joke. How like. You know, even now, I just say with the crowd, like if I do a joke, when my wife's Hispanic, so I can get away with a little bit. But if I push it too far, I go like I can see the white women like judge me. I go, I didn't vote for him. That's all I have to say. Like I didn't vote for him because I didn't vote for anybody.
Right.
So
well,
they know.
They
know what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying. But it's like you get no support. Like now at the Cellar, they're practically outsourcing the booking because it's like Indian guy, you know, it's just all these like different kinds.
I mean,
if you notice, there's like
white guys are not. Nobody gives a shit what a white guy has to say.
There's like an epidemic of Indian comics who try to sound like urban.
Right. Well, that's the they got to choose a culture, and it's not. They're not.
Yeah.
Choose.
But like they shit on white people.
If
like
you watch some of the late night sets,
like
some of the
Uber
late
jokes,
night
all
sets,
Uber jokes now.
Some of the late night sets, people go out and go like this. I'm a Hispanic, and the whole audience goes. They go, I'm a Muslim, and they go, yeah, and it's like, but that's not a joke or a good. Like you're just saying what you are. It's
No,
like if I went
they-
out and said I'm a lapsed Catholic, and everyone's like, okay, like
yeah.
No, the point is, like all comedy, you have to be. The crowd's supposed to be behind you in some fashion. Like when comedy first took off, it was just like people thought, "Oh, wow, the guy's a stand-up comic. That's novel." But now it's like being a comic is like everyone's
no
a
one cares.
comic.
No one cares.
Yeah, it's like saying you know a mailman. I know a guy who delivers mail. Nobody gives a fuck that you know a comic or that your brother's a comic or whatever. So now it's
People
like
don't even want to enjoy comedy. They just want to be whipped up into like a frenzy.
And
they
they
don't
wanna-
even want to. They're
Yes,
like,
they
who
wanna
are we going to attack? You know?
unless they want to judge, they like to sit
Right.
back and go like this guy.
Yeah.
I always like when they go. Trying to think of a good example, but they always think they have to compare who was the best. Like I don't know how many times I've been coming out of a comedy show, and I'll go, I think the second guy was the best.
It's like
I go,
human nature.
I'm like, I'm right here. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to go like, you mean me?
Yeah.
I go, no, yeah, but you were good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have to, and that's another thing that makes comics crazy. Is like we're always being compared to the guy before us to the guy after us, and it's after a while you're like, you just get sick of it, you know?
Yeah, I think some of that's just.
I know it's human nature, but I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's like human nature
Yeah, fuck
is.
these people.
It's like human nature where they're cheering for the black guy. Like the black guy can't get a break in stand up. I'm like, do you guys not watch TV?
Yeah.
That's where they're getting breaks. They're not getting breaks at your job.
Right.
They're definitely getting breaks in fucking show business.
Yeah, I think it makes.
Who's a white
it's
guy
hard
that's
to-
even doing good?
Oh, there's a lot of white guys that
Nobody.
are doing good. There's some.
Really, who's going to cross over to the black community?
That's a great question.
No, but like I'm trying to think of like young guys who like even if I see they're funny, I'm like I can think of a way they won't make it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's true.
Like if you're a woman or an Indian guy or like I see these Indian guys like that fucking guy who works on the Daily Show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, no offense. I don't know if you guys are friends.
I don't know if he's Indian
horrible.
even.
He's horrible. Like, I saw him.
I don't know if he's.
I saw him. He was doing this thing about Nick. What's Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
It was such a weak bit, but the crowd's like, oh my god, right? An Indian guy talking about Nick Cannon.
Right.
Like he's pretty like up his own ass too, which is he's kind of up his own ass.
Because he's upbeat, and that's good if you're Indian. Because most Indian people you run into aren't upbeat. They're very reserved, and they smell funny on the train.
I like reserved Indians. My favorite type of Indian is a skeptical reserved Indian.
They all are.
They
all are because they're all.
I go to get Indian desserts in Jackson Heights, and I like when they kind of just size me up. Like, is he stealing? I like that.
So who do you live with?
Just a comic who's like 40, who's over. His career's over.
Me? Oh.
It is. No, he's shot, and
he's just demoralized.
He's just shot in every possible way.
First of all, here's another thing.
It's just very sad. It's a very sad house. Like
you can't disappear. You can't disappear until you're shamed now because even guys that aren't making it are putting on Facebook how they're not making it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a thing. People are supporting.
You can't even really quit.
No, you can't. No, even if you quit, people go like, "Don't quit." You know, there's
you do quit. You gotta like witness protection program out.
Yeah, but I'm saying back in the day when you quit, no one knew. But now people say they quit. They go, I'm quitting. And then people go, no, what are you doing?
No. Yeah, and they stay in.
They say they're going to kill themselves. Like, what are you doing?
That's why you got to go witness protection. Just out. Delete all the social media and like 4 months later, become another person.
Comics don't have money to go undercover.
I know, but
how much? Can you name your roommate? Can you name his name?
I can't name his name. What do you want me to name his name?
No.
He's just, he's been doing it a long time.
Where'd you meet him?
Happened.
Through the circles?
Some other comic goes, this guy needs somebody to live with him because he's doing so great. And the guy's 40. And listen, the only reason you should listen to another 40-year-old man shit is if you're in prison or if you're married. Like, you shouldn't have a roommate. I mean, I'm 32, and I'm like, I don't want a roommate at 40. That's kind of rough.
Somebody just. I think Sam Morrill just tweeted that about. He goes, New York's a great place to live if you want to have roommates when you're 50 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets to a point where you're like, but this guy's kind of sad, and he'll ask me like these sad questions.
Does he work at all?
Does he have a podcast?
I mean, he's trying. He'll ask me a question. He's like,
does he work any clubs?
How do you get on Access TV? And I go, what? Let me ask you a question. What is this all for? Like,
you don't ask him like that with a big voice, do you?
No, I just kind of stand there in the kitchen. I go, listen, I don't think it's going to work. And I ate your turkey burger. And he goes,
I talked to a guy. I had a roommate one time. I was doing really bad, and then he moved into like my closet. Then he had to cross into my bed. I don't know. It was a fucking nightmare.
There's very few things that take dignity from you like this pursuit.
Yeah.
Like, this just takes all the dignity. It really does.
There's another thing.
Takes everything.
There's nothing. There's no retirement. There's no retirement.
Yeah. And it's hard to drag someone else down with you in a relationship
really
or something.
Sad.
My girlfriend's got like a real job and she's working with kids. And I'm like, get out of this. What are you doing?
It's very hard when you see like I've met. Like, because here's the thing, man. I used to do a lot of drugs and I'd hang out in crack houses. And if somebody said to themselves, hey, I want to stop smoking crack, even everyone in crack house would go, that's a good idea.
That's a great point.
You should stop smoking crack. But if a comedian goes, hey, I've been doing this 10 years, I'm broke, I have no credit, maybe I should quit and get a real job. Everyone's like, no, you're a star. You're a star. You're going to be a star.
Don't let them take it away from you.
Shaking on the street.
There's like 20 cliches they throw at you. Like, you know,
what about Dangerfield?
What's that thing that, it's like a lot of times right before you quit, that's when you're going to, whatever the fuck.
Right. That's a real story. Right before you quit is when you make it. Oh.
That's what they say. Like a lot of times right before. I'll tell you a story. What's his name? Louis Schaefer. You guys know him?
I don't.
He was gonna make it.
Oh boy.
He was gonna make it.
I have a cough drop.
Yeah, he was gonna make it, and they're sugar free though. Are you anti-diabetic?
I mean, I'll take it. I'm not thrilled.
Everything has to have sugar. No, this guy was gonna make it, and then he got married, and then his agent or whatever. He met somebody at a festival. She was an agent, and then he married her. They have 2 kids, and now he can't leave England. He was gonna make it. He was really funny. Ask Dan Animan. You guys know Dan Animan? I know
Dan. Yeah.
I know I'm name dropping now, but but he's this guy was gonna make it. If I would have known, I would have said don't marry her. And then he used to do an act about Louis Schaefer not gay because everybody thought he was gay because he wore a blue blazer and he was like real gayish and then we kind of thought he was gay. Then he just there he is right there. But now he's
gay.
He's he's on Facebook.
Sorry to break it to you, ladies, but
he's on Facebook now, and he's
taking a load.
He's miserable. Like he just wants to kill himself because English audiences are not good anyway.
Wait a minute, he's in England now.
He's in England, yeah, because his wife is English, so he had to go, and he can't leave the country because his kids are there, and I guess he loves his kids or something. So
there's nothing worse than comedy. There's like nothing that
people have no idea.
Like, no, I've never heard anyone justify their life decisions with anything else the way they do with comedy. They're like, I'm living in a drawer, and it's year 15, but I got timeout joke of the week in 2008. So.
They always go, but I love it. I love it. I go, what do you love about it? Right. Yeah. What do you love about it? Like, there's no future. You're not even good. I can see if you're like killing and you're making people happy, but you don't.
What do you love?
It's most of the people that don't work that much. They always say they love it because it's like they get that high.
It's like their hobby.
Yeah, and they get that contact high from getting a hot crowd once in a while. They go like, oh my God, it's such a good feeling. I'm like, yeah, but it's not. You can't pay your bills with it. You know,
like why put other people through that?
I have a psychic snap. Something happens where it's not like you'll talk to some of these people and you look in their eyes. You're not talking to a logical human being anymore. You know what I mean? Like they've gone deep somewhere inside themselves where like you see it. I sat down my roommate. I go, you're not going to be Louis because you don't have any of his skills.
Why you just bring him in and we can hide him on the couch?
He had tears in his eyes. I said, you don't have. I swear to God. I said, you're not gonna be Louis. You don't have any of his skills. And he just sat there, and you could see like there were tears for me. He was like, because like these are one of the only.
Did he ever get a job? Has he ever worked?
He works a day job now.
Has he ever like worked professionally?
He gets paid work. Go down to conventional lawyers in Miami and.
No, has he ever like made a living as a comic? Has he ever gotten hired?
Bringer shows, like producing shows.
Oh my God!
Right.
He says he's a comic.
Well, I mean, he does comedy technically.
He works at Dangerfields.
No, I think that one was too classy for him. But he got, I mean, listen, it's
one of the three of us produce a Bringer show.
Yeah, because we would never get.
I just want to get involved.
Never convince anyone to come and follow.
Yeah. I just want to get involved with open micers because they're so pathetic.
It's rough out there. But now you have a whole segment of people in Brooklyn that are just like, I'm not here to be funny. I'm here to make a point.
Yeah, it's like socialism.
Yeah, and I just want to write articles for fucking Huffington Post and make points and perform in Brooklyn for 5 years or whenever this thing ends. Like, when does this hipster shit end? Like, when does it end? When is it not cool anymore to be a 37-year-old single blogger who lives on a floor?
But how about two dope queens? Like, what's their deal?
I mean,
they make a lot of money.
They make good money in there, and I don't know what they do on that show. So
they charge an audience to listen to them.
Yeah,
I mean, they have a lot of sponsors. I mean, they figured out a niche. So anybody that figures something out, they figured it out. Good for them. They figured it out.
Maybe we should just put on blackface and.
I mean, listen, what am I going to... There's people that have a niche that I don't have. Like, I haven't figured out what niche who's going to pay me. I haven't really figured that out.
I think what I'm going to do is adopt a kid from Africa and teach him about dinosaurs. And then
that's going to be a great podcast.
And then just have him be a comic who talks about white people stuff.
Right.
I mean, you should adopt.
Write a bunch of Spider-Man jokes. Yeah.
Because even even if you adopt a kid, people, they go like, oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I do a joke about Ethiopian
this is my
restaurants,
son.
and people get mad because I go, my son's Ethiopian. I go, but you're not.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, but I adopt him. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
So what's the so you I can't. You know what I mean? He fucked up by being born there. I don't say that, but you know what I mean? I'm thinking.
Right. Mm-hmm. You have an Ethiopian kid?
No, I'm saying.
Oh.
Audiences.
I'm like, how the hell did that happen? I'm like, you're really trying to make it.
I like how he doesn't listen.
I hear every third word.
How he doesn't listen to anything.
I'm like, he's really trying. He got an Ethiopian kid. That's what my roommate should get.
He's good at talking, though.
Get an Ethiopian child.
No, most people, I can't even, that's why I don't like hosting, because I can't even listen to anybody.
Yeah.
I go to the Comedy Cell, the Village Underground, which you kind of have to listen to the comic, because you can't, if you're down there, you're going to hear it, and everyone's laughing. I'm just like, what? I don't even hear the joke.
Right.
I don't even hear jokes anymore. Like, I hear the words, but then they react, and I'm like, what did I miss? What? Like, I'm always like,
we were on the
what did I miss?
Yeah. We were on the same show last night, and I'm just tired of going up in front of like 22-year-olds.
I hated that show. And then I did a show in the Village. It was amazing because it was older people. It was a mix of young and old people, the second show I did, and it was so much better. I don't want to entertain 18, like Comedy Central. I had a meeting with them, and they go, what's going on Snapchat? And I go, 15-year-olds are doing Snapchat.
What's going on? Why don't they find out themselves? Why are they asking
for
you?
Me to be on Snapchat with 15-year-olds.
What does Comedy Central want?
Snapchat.
No, but what do they want for a show? Can you sell them a show?
What
you do a Man on the Street show. I saw your Man on the Street stuff. It was pretty funny. You know, a bloody nose or whatever.
You
just do a Man on the Street. You always have a bloody nose.
Street show.
I don't
think they want
bloody nose guy.
I don't think they want that right now.
When are they going to want it?
I don't know.
But what do they want? What are the shows that are even working there?
I don't know.
Workaholics still?
Key and Peele.
But that's done, right?
It might be done.
What's their show?
I don't know. Inside Amy's no longer there, right? I mean,
she
comes
problematic.
back.
Are you guys friends with Amy?
I've never met her.
For real?
Met her a couple times.
That's it?
Yeah. Legit never met her.
How you guys not meet her?
I've never.
So I saw your Conan set. You should have easily passed at the Comedy Cellar. Like you must be dumb or something.
Yeah, I must.
Why don't you just do that?
He did a whole bit. He did a 5-minute bit about a Palestinian state. So that was maybe.
Yeah.
She was slightly.
Oh, did you? You did a PLO thing?
No.
Yeah. I've never met Amy. I'd like to.
Wait. First of all, why did you
she
do
lit
that
me.
set? That was easy.
I didn't expect to be lit early, and then she.
Who told you how it works? Didn't Shay tell you how it works?
Not really.
Shay's an asshole.
Yeah, he is.
I know he don't listen to the show.
Yeah, ma'am.
Tim's got an audition.
I've got an audition.
I was like, just be ready to get lit early.
For Amy. No, for the Comedy Cellar.
Who's getting you in?
I think I was recommended by a few people. Bobby, Kelly, a few other people. Yeah. Hopefully it's a good set. I don't know. It's 5 minutes, so
Hey, you'll do fine, but don't
think I should follow up with her or anything. Or?
No. Right now. Let his roommate go get a crack at it, and then get behind him. No, but no, just you got to start out strong. Don't try to get.
Try not to get in my head. Like I'm a type of comic where I like to be able to do a little crowd work and be loose, and So the idea of like 5 minutes kind of bugs me out a little bit because it's like if they hate me off the bat, what do I do? That's
what do you open with? I watch your set. I do a little research for my guest.
Oh,
I watch your Access TV.
That's from years ago.
Jim Florentine.
A long time ago.
I like when Jim Florentine's the guest host. I'm like, oh, Florentine's doing a set. I go,
he didn't care at all about that.
He's the guest host.
He literally came out on stage and went, I think it was some version of he said my wife left me for a cop. Not thrilled. And then he's like, let's get this show going. It was literally, that was the opening. That was the opening. I don't know. I gotta pick the jokes about what's what works and shit. I don't know.
When are you auditioning?
Friday.
She auditioned some fucking freak on last Friday.
What happened?
I don't know. I couldn't watch it.
Oh,
I was standing in the hallway for so long. I thought he got kicked out of the room.
Oh, let's talk about this.
And then he had long hair. I think Birbiglia. I said, who recommended him? Mattel? She said no, and somebody said no, Birbiglia. He was like a hippie guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Jim Twos. You guys know Jim Twos?
Jim, yeah.
He just got passed.
Good.
It's nice.
It's great.
It was good to see.
It's a fucking that room's getting a killer room now. Not in a good way. It just kills your spirit because you got to do the same jokes every show because everybody does.
People are just afraid of not working.
Yeah. So if the joke doesn't hit the mark, then the crowd I did a joke. I slipped in on Friday night, and the joke didn't work, so they got sad for the next two jokes. I'm like, it's not your problem, it's my problem, But they can't take it because they know everyone's doing they hear it's so great, and then they go there and they expect to be great, and if they don't see a famous guy, they get depressed. So
yeah.
But everyone's doing their best stuff, so you got to do your best stuff, and it's like you're a fucking robot. So enjoy it.
Thank you. I'm very excited.
You got to get in. What do you got to say about Bobby Kelly?
Good dude. He's been very good to me.
One of my arch enemies.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Arch enemy?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a fat fuck. Isn't
he is fat.
I didn't know how short and fat he was until I saw whenever he does Opie radio.
Yeah.
Or when it was like Opie and Norton.
Yeah.
He was always the shortest guy, and I was like, I had no idea he was that short. And then obviously I knew he was fat.
Right.
Then when I see the picture, I'm like, he's shorter than Norton by like 7 inches.
Is he that short? I don't even.
No, that's what I'm saying. You never think he's short, and then when you see, you see a visual with him like standing next to normal sized people. Like Opie's not tall, and he's got Bobby Kelly by like 10 inches.
Bobby's like 3 feet.
Yeah, he's like. But I've never thought he was. I never thought he was.
Seem to be that short in real life.
I never thought he was short because whenever I talk to him, I always feel like he's like
gonna punch you.
Yeah, like he gets right. We got into a fight a couple weeks ago, and he got right in my face.
Yeah, what'd you argue about?
About our lives? No, about I did a show at Riotcast, and then I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave and do a show here, but plus I used to insult him a lot. I used to insult their network. I insulted his boss.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing. It's called burning bridges.
Yeah, but the other show was called Misery Loves Company, so Bobby Kelly kept going. It's going to be called just Misery soon. And he was kind of right. I mean, he's not an idiot, but he's whatever. He's kind of a. Anyway, I can't even rehash it because I'm so exhausted.
Yeah, I hear.
We got kids, Mother's Day, and it was a fucking nightmare. So anyway, you guys got anything else? We might wrap this up early.
Seems very
positive.
No, I fucking Jimmy Martinez. You don't know him, do you?
I don't.
There's no way you can know him, but you know him a little bit from what? Che?
I guess, yeah.
You friends with Che? Did you go to his Christmas party?
Yeah.
Oh, because Jimmy was there.
Yeah, that's right.
Liz was there too. You know Liz from the Comedy Cellar?
No, Liz.
How you know Liz?
From the
from Riotcast,
yeah,
right?
from Riotcast.
Yeah, then you'll probably get in.
One would hope.
All right, don't get cocky.
I'm
seriously,
not.
the worst thing you can do is get cocky.
I know. Listen,
you should
it could go either way. It's 5 minutes.
No, of course it can. But you should bomb right before you go on there.
You think so?
Yeah.
What's
So you're not. So you don't go in there with any confidence. Go in there like an open micer. Treat it like.
Is that the way to go in there? That seems like the worst advice ever.
No, it's absolutely like when I'm in a funk there, I just treat every joke as if like, oh, maybe this joke will work, and then I do it. And if it gets a laugh, I go, oh, that's good. That's good news.
Well, I mean, I don't. Okay.
Don't get like, oh, I'll go to this joke. Don't be jumping ahead like, let me do this joke. And
I get what you mean. Be mindful of what's going on.
Just be right in the moment. Don't be like, I'll set this up to get to that.
Gotcha.
Just try to But if you're thinking like this joke kills, I'm good. You're gonna.
You said the first joke might not hit sometimes, right?
Yeah, the first joke never hits. I mean, if the crowd's hot, but like I do a joke that I just use it to test the crowd to see how the crowd is.
Yeah,
sometimes it kills, sometimes it does okay, but I gauge how the crowd is.
Yeah, man. It's 5 minutes, So.
But don't be like that.
Yeah. No.
I don't know how.
Don't be like that.
What to tell you? No, but Bobby Kelly, I mean, Esty loves him, so that's a good thing.
It's good.
Yeah. But he is fat though.
He's
He brought me in to do the show, and then it was like a fucking nightmare because he wouldn't never talk to me,
Right.
And he never invited me to be on his show. It was just like this weird situation where like he was my boss, but it was hard for me to be like, yeah, Bobby, right? So obviously he's got some issues, Then and people would call up the show. They go, "What are you going to do with Kevin Brennan's show?" And he'd go like, and then he'd be like, "I don't want to talk about it." He would talk about it for 25 minutes, I'm like, why don't we just meet? Why don't we just fucking meet?
Talk about it.
Why don't we just meet at some place, like any place? He go, I'll meet. And then we got into this big fight on the street. He goes, I said, yeah, the problem is you never met me, and you met Lenny Marcus, my fucking sidekick. You met him every Tuesday because they meet every Tuesday for some reason because Bobby had an appointment up where Lenny lives or whatever. But I'm like, all you got to do is meet me. I'm the fucking star of the show. Not that I'm an egomaniac. But I was the guy who did all the talking on the show, and Lenny would be like, that's not true. I would go, Ben Bailey sucks. He goes, that's not true. Like, I was just telling facts, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm like, why don't you meet me? He goes, oh, I'll meet you whenever I want, but he won't. You know what I mean? He's like, it's like anybody. They say a lot of shit, and it's not true. So he says, I'll meet you whenever you want, but that end,
How was your Mother's Day, though, all right?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Oh, I
just imagine Mother's Day is just you telling your kid and your wife the same thing.
Yeah.
This entire spiel.
Oh, my son.
And Lenny Marcus.
My son, for real, my son used to, I didn't even know I was talking about this at home, but one time my son just goes, he's 4, he goes, Bobby Kelly. I go, what? He goes, Bobby Kelly, like a fucking parrot.
So funny, Bobby Kelly.
Like I was like, what the fuck? Where'd you get that? He goes, he's your friend, right? I go,
you walk in, he's watching Bobby's special. Bobby Kelly.
Bobby Kelly. Yeah, that happened to my wife one time. I was watching, I did, Earthquake?
Yeah.
He was, my wife was, I can't even tell this story. It takes so long. But anyway, I did a HBO half hour, and it was like a bunch of people, like 10 people. Earthquake was one of the guys. So anyway, he was one of the first ones to come out. They came out like once a week for like 10 weeks, and I was at the end of the pack. And so he was at the beginning. So my wife, we got drunk, whatever. So she's watching Earthquake do his half hour, and she's fucking howling, like howling. I go, okay, I know you're drunk, but this like, let's calm down a little bit, you know?
Right.
So this is in California. We come back to New York, and so she's, I was like, I slept at her house. I had to leave. I went to the bathroom. I come back. She's sitting there waiting to hit play to watch Earthquake again. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She goes,
She loves Earthquake.
She goes, I like the special, but I'm like, at least wait till I'm fucking gone. You know what I mean? Because as a comic, you're competitive with people.
Yeah,
you can't help it. Yeah, bring Bob in. Bob. Like, nobody even comes in. Can you hear me? He got stuck in a train. This is why this fucking sucks, because I want everyone to be afraid.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to be like almost got arrested because he's in such a hurry to get here. Do you know Bob DeBono?
Yes, we just met recently.
Did you guys know? You know these guys?
Yeah.
From where? Dangerfields? You do a show? Do you do a show?
Yeah, no, we met. We've met.
He's going to audition for Esty.
Who is?
Tim.
Nice. Hey, Tim.
We'll see what
your
happens.
mic don't even work, right?
What's that?
Does it even have a wire?
I don't know. I don't even have headphones.
And Mike already auditioned for Esty.
Oh, what happened?
He went long. He
Great.
got the light 3 times.
Went like 20 seconds long.
How about this? I worked there.
Who's the
and-
MC?
You could just say you got
Eric
passed
Fried.
and she doesn't give you spots. You could do that
What the
angle.
fuck is his problem?
What?
He thinks he's like a fucking sex symbol, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's in shape, dude. He's kind of got that.
He's got too much energy. Like he's the MCs and he brings up the crowd. I'm like, it's not a fucking pep rally. Like, just get him in the mood to laugh. Like, you don't have to be all. Like, I hate it when they get too amped up, because then I don't know what the fuck they expect, you know?
Yeah.
It's not a shit room. If it's a shit room, yeah, get the crowd pumped up. But if it's not a shit room,
Right.
they don't need all this fucking extra goosing. Like,
Who's
Bob, the rooms Bob works, they're shit rooms. So
do you mean? I work the cellar.
They need to be goosed. But you don't do anything, right?
What are you talking about?
And you work at Dangerfield or Stand-Up New
Work
York.
everywhere. Broadway, Caroline's.
No, but when
Work
you
the
MC there,
cellar.
do you get them all? You're not
I don't
screaming
MC
at them.
anywhere other than the Dangerfields.
Are you screaming at them to like, come on?
I'm an MC. I do a little screaming. Well, I'm a
But that's your
high energy
personality.
act.
I scream when I get off stage.
Point. Thank you for defending me.
Well, so is Jared Free. That's his personality. But it's like, it's just, don't yell at them. Why are you yelling at them? Like you're like, come on, can we
'Cause-
hear you? Like, it has nothing to do with laughing.
Let them come to you.
Yeah, it doesn't translate into laughing.
Mike, I let them come to me
when
the
they
next
when they
day.
make a lot of noise with their
I
clap.
let them come to me the next day. I go, come with me tomorrow after the show's over.
This is what I don't like when a host does. Like when a host starts making announcements in the middle of the set, and they're like, "All right, here's what I need you to do. I need you to
Come see Harlan Williams.
We're gonna put them on the stage. We're gonna put your cell phones in your pockets. Every time a comic comes, I want you to show them the energy because they feed off your energy. So if you
They'll
make
give
them-
it back to you 3
I
times.
hate
No, they
that.
won't.
Yeah,
they
hate
won't.
that
How about
shit.
this one?
Very
How about this
condescending.
one?
No, they treat them like idiots, and then they think we're idiots.
Or how about this one?
If you
Drink up.
convince people they're idiots, then they think we're idiots, and then they get dumb.
Or when they go, drink up, get drunk, the jokes get funnier.
That's true. I don't mind that because
Stand
that's
that.
true.
It's so stupid.
It's just like
I even say that now.
when they that can get annoying when they say shit like that.
Bob was stuck in it. I fucking hate hosting today. No, because I got Monday's rough because I worked Sunday night. Sunday night I got sleep at 5 a.m. I wake up because my kids are fucking, yapping at me. And then all day yesterday. And so I try to do the turnaround. I got to fucking take NyQuil to get to sleep on Sunday night.
Yeah.
I got the fucking NyQuil hangover.
And then the next day you're a mess. You're in a
Right. Let them hear it.
At
For Bobby.
I do melatonin and I go Z-Quil. It's another one.
Oh, but you never get them all riled up, do you? Because they don't need it. They don't. I don't think at a good room there, especially, they don't need it. But audiences are so dumb now, like on the road, that every MC thinks they gotta. Because they are dumb. They're there for food. They're like, what?
Yeah.
Should we clap a lot?
Yeah.
I was
First
just
of all,
in
you
San
can't.
Antonio.
You can't fake laughter. They're not going to fake laughter.
Also, no one wants to be told what to do. Don't tell me what to do. I'm in the audience.
Which San Antonio?
The one in the mall on the 3rd floor of the River Center
Oh yeah,
Mall.
it's like
Busters.
improv now.
Seats 420 people.
Oh my god, that's
And we had the first show, we had like 15 people.
who
Hello, everyone.
Who
I
headlined?
got
I'm
there, they were like-
headlining. I was headlining the show.
I got there. They were like, we need 10 for a show, but there's 9, so
Yeah.
get up there.
For real?
Yeah.
I was praying every show they would just cancel it, and they would just go back to IHOP Express, which is where I was in the mall. And I went, okay. Saturday we had 100
Where's
people.
the hotel? They have a hotel now.
Yeah, you walk to the hotel. It's a Red Roof Inn.
Roof in.
A step above.
To the thing
It's a step above the
That's
pay
a
by
good
the
gig,
hour.
then.
It's not connected. You got to walk, but it's fine.
It's like a half a
because
mile.
they used to be a. You got to walk a half mile.
Yeah, it's.
I heard it's a rough walk. Is it?
No, it's fine. It's San Antonio.
No, but they used to have a condo. Used to stay at a condo, and it was a really dumpy condo. So the fact that
What are you talking about? The river?
yeah,
River
it was
one,
like
yeah.
historically
The River
bad condo. So the fact that they're putting you in a hotel is good now.
It's a Red Roof Inn.
They still don't do any business. And the fucked up part about that club is it's surrounded by hotels, and they don't get any of those hotel
You
people.
don't get anybody, man.
So give them a 2-for-1. Give them anything to get them in the club because all there is to do down there is that stupid river walk.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So give them.
Gross. That whole thing's gross.
No, it's dumb. It's so embarrassing that
Chain
they get turned
restaurants.
on by that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, look, there's like a river, and then you can walk.
like if people drink
everybody
out of
down there is fat, so you can't. I don't even feel
So
comfortable walking down
I was a
there.
personal trainer down there. I was shocked at how.
Oh, because
I'm
it's
talking
not safe. They
fat.
don't have any guardrails, and then all those fat people. I mean,
in
it's
the
not.
river?
No, I mean practically. I did a joke that I fell in the river. It kills, but anyway. Right, Bob?
Yeah, I know.
I got to put you over there because you ever heard
thanks.
Bob
Keep all
DeBonos?
in
He
for this
does
shit.
impressions of he's an impressionist.
I know,
You
I know.
that?
Well,
Trying to get this guy can't get a break. I think I can't get a break. This guy, how many times a week were you on the nightly show?
me every week. There's a
Every week you're on.
Regular
Then what
cast.
happened? And then right before the election, they canceled you
show canceled last August.
in August.
Yeah.
And imagine if they were still on air, you'd have to be on every day.
I know.
It'd practically be your show after a while,
I
right?
had an
But it is good the nightly show got canceled.
I know the show was terrible.
had an exclusivity deal with Comedy Central. It was
You did? What do you mean?
they signed me to be their exclusive guy for the show, and then after 7 months, the show got canceled.
So how much they were paying you per week?
They gave me like a payout, and they gave me like a. Then I got paid, SAG wages.
Wait, they put you under contract.
Yeah.
And then they
When it
released
got
you.
canceled, I still got paid because I got canceled before the contract was over.
That's
Wow,
great.
that is great. So how come the other Comedy Central?
I want to get on more shows that will get canceled.
Wow, but imagine if it was still on.
I know.
You know what the problem with that show was? The host. I'm not even kidding. The host.
The whole show wasn't great.
Yeah, but he was really
I
particularly
can't
bad.
knock Larry. I think Larry was first of all, the guy's got a lot going on. He's got like 10 projects
He's
going
terrific. He's
Number one.
I got nothing but sweet things to say about a fucking tired old black hack who's basically like friends with the right people. I heard he got fired from his own
Stewart
fucking show. Bernie
Who gave
Mac
the show,
fired
though,
him. He
yeah?
was the showrunner. He got fired.
on. Who did?
Whatever. It's Larry Wilmore.
Yeah. I hope he's listening right now.
Oh my God, I would pray. People always think like, what if I want to get punched in the face so it go viral. Imagine if Larry Wilmore punched me in the face. How fucking great would that be?
Amazing.
I watched that show and I'm like, who likes this guy? And then I found out he was in the middle of a separation from his wife. I'm like, nobody does. His wife don't like him. Black people don't like him. White people don't. Nobody likes him. He has no demographic. What's his demographic? You're up to date with the kids.
I would imagine
Who's gonna watch that fucking show?
the people that
College
are paid
kids,
to
maybe?
work on the show.
Yeah.
Like,
It would be like the people.
producers of the show.
It would be like the people who watch the Daily Show that felt guilty turning it off.
Yeah,
so they would do it like,
perhaps.
you know what? He's blackish.
First of all these shows, the ratings are all down for all the Daily Show.
TV's over.
way
TV's
down.
gone.
TV is over.
TV's gone, dude.
Podcasting's the future.
Nobody's.
Talk about
I don't know
two
what the hell's the
words.
future, but
2 words, Cumtown.
they're doing great.
Tell me what the. So I told somebody, I go, yeah, I heard the new podcast is Cumtown, and then somebody goes, that's what it's. I think my wife might have said, like, or maybe
who's
my
on
daughter
that?
said, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old daughter, Cumtown. What's that?
TV, you got to get a big. If you get a big hit in TV, it's still great. But I
Yeah.
mean, you can't. Like, there's no more like. These shows are going away.
But there's the TV's stupid because like
Netflix streaming. That's where it's at.
Chris DiStefano, is that how you say his name? His show didn't get picked up, right?
I don't know that. Are you sure?
No, yeah, because I saw that it.
Who told you that?
Huh?
Who told you that?
It wasn't in the thing. It was a CBS show, and they didn't pick it up. So, and when they announced him the other day, they didn't say he had a show. But anyway, Sebastian, you know that comic Sebastian?
Yeah, Sebastian Maniscalco.
He did a pilot for I think NBC or whatever. They didn't pick him up, and they're fucking idiots because
3 years ago, right? 3 years ago.
Yeah, but the point is, he should have got picked up because that's the kind of show they need, like an old school Italian guy with a Hispanic wife or whatever. So but the networks, they're fucking idiots. So even picking up Chris would have been a good pickup too.
Yeah,
but they don't know what the fuck to do.
See outside their little bubble.
No, but
they're operating out of fear. They're operating to like retain viewers more than like grow their base.
Right.
I don't think that's a smart. The only person who's really killing right now is like, if you look at Netflix, you go, oh, that. Because they're just, I mean, Stranger Things, that show that was a big hit. All the networks passed on that. Netflix said, we'll take the risk.
Because Netflix doesn't need it to be a hit. They just need content.
So that's why then
it becomes a hit.
Right. And that's why they're number one.
They are number one.
Number one. But
now everybody's trying to get a Netflix special. People are like,
that's over.
What do you mean? Getting them?
I mean, I don't think they're going to give them out anymore the way they were. You gotta have an angle. I don't think they're just gonna give out a guy on a stage doing comedy.
Yeah.
I think you gotta have an angle.
Wait, somebody told me to watch. Somebody said you gotta watch Norm Macdonald's special, and then I watched it. I was like, oh my god! Like I love Norm, but it was still. I'm like, is comedy this slow? Like it was happening. Like I felt like I should be like doing shit, like
he was taking his
embroidering or whatever.
Well, I think it's funny, but I just think
it just happens too slow. Like the jokes happen too slow.
All of our attention.
Man.
If you're not there, if you're not actually there, you're like,
watch a movie
shit.
without checking your phone. It's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't care what the movie is.
Yeah.
You'll
You
check
mean in
your
the theater
phone.
or at home?
Anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're in a theater watching Star Wars IMAX and there's shit flying at your face, one time during that movie, minimum, you take your glasses off and go, oh. You have to.
Yeah, my theory is now, like, you know, when you go, who emceed for you in San Antonio? A real shit comic?
Well, the feature sold beer koozies. He was a sweet guy. I mean, what is he gonna do? What angle is he gonna take? I don't blame him.
Did he suck though?
It wasn't great.
Here's the thing.
I mean, why wouldn't he suck? If he didn't suck, it would have been insane. If he was
at the
amazing.
River Center, they had the manager was hosting the show when I was there. I brought the manager, the guy.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing with comedy clubs. They think they got this thing figured out, but like I say, if your act is not better than someone's phone, then you're dead. And they have to sit through like the MC and the feature who suck, and then they're out of their mind with
they
boredom.
also do these announcements, like right before they brought me on, that the MC goes up and he goes, I want to remind, in this voice, he goes, I remind everyone to validate your parking. If you do not validate your parking, you will have a huge problem. We charge big fines. Please make sure to put the sticker in your car. I'm like, this is fucking
You guys
insane.
ready for your headliner?
And he goes like this. Rob Schneider's coming here soon. Go to the website to get tickets to Rob
right
Schneider.
now. Go to your phone right now.
It's not good when they're
grab your
promoting
phone
another guy
right
during
now.
the show.
Right. And then they bring me. It's like, all right.
And then they go, you ready for your headliner? I know the crowd's not ready because I'm not even ready, and I'm the headliner.
Parking. They're thinking about their car.
So fucking pathetic.
Yeah.
The crowd's never ready, so it's like the audience, they don't even want to be there. I don't even know why the fuck. I just want to go, and I go, why are you here? Like, did you? Oh, my friend got free tickets. He got like 100 tickets.
We've demonized gambling and prostitution, like things people enjoy.
Right.
So they have to sit through this horse shit.
Well, they have to. So they have to do something. They can't go to the movies every time. So like, you know what? Why don't we go see comedy? And then
they do it once every 10 years. Like,
but I still
nobody
cracks me up
goes
that
a lot.
people just go to see comedy. You know what I mean? Like they don't even know. They don't know who you are.
What's happening?
And they go and they go like, this guy's all right.
And then they see they'll leave the show. They'll be like, we had a good time. They're like, I saw one comedy show in like '94, and now this.
Yeah.
It's never somebody who's like, we come a lot.
I know.
Yeah. It's always somebody who's like, this is our first comedy show ever, and I'm 60.
It is changing. That's why you really have to do a podcast. So anyway, Cumtown, what do? They just talk about cum?
They're very funny, and they're friends, and
they are really funny. Yeah.
Who is it? Nick Mullen?
Mullen, Stavros, and Adam Friedland. Stavros is Bobby's opener, your best buddy.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
No, but they do a Patreon, right?
Yeah. The Patreon. That's like a good move.
No, because your friend, what's his name? Tom Cassidy. He's actually going to be mad that he's not here.
What happened to him?
No, because
sweet guy.
Sweet guy.
Yeah.
Sweet. He's not even that sweet.
I don't know. He's there. He seems nice.
Where is he? Got rid of him?
No, he goes, whenever I talk to him, he goes, you got to do this, you got to do. I'm like, you fucking do it. Like, you do it.
Yeah.
When we start doing this show, he goes, I went to get something to eat with him.
You do.
I was just in a bad mood, you know. I go, let's get something to eat, and I had to do a spot later. And I'm like, you're even annoying when we eat? Like, you're never not annoying? Because he was annoying on the show, and then he's talking about and then I got this chicken parm dinner, and I never returned a chicken parm because it's like my favorite thing ever. So but it would tasted like fucking veal. It was disgusting. So then I called a waiter over. I go, this is weird. He goes, what's wrong with it? I go, well, it just doesn't taste good. And so Tom looks at me like, what the I go, I'm not doing this for your benefit. Like, he thinks I'm like a miserable prick, like every meal I get. I'm like, come on over here, no matter what it is. I'm like, come on, this doesn't taste good. But he's like, you got to do the Patreon. I'm like, you fucking do something. He goes, what you got to do is, I'm like, I can't do everything all the time. I go, shouldn't I build up my fan base and then do a Patreon? Shouldn't I have like a catchy name like fucking Guys We Fucked or Cumtown or something like that? So I told my wife, I go, yeah, it's called Cumtown. She goes, I go, yeah, you need a catchy fucking name.
Nick had a pretty big following on Twitter, I think.
He did?
Yeah.
How many Twitter? Can we? I'm just kidding. Anyway, can we go to his Twitter followers?
Yeah, man. I still think there's like. There's a.
Well, I have some proteges that I try to get Carrie Carabas, and so they want to do a show.
Protege. She's 64, so that's the fuck kind of protege. What are you talking about?
Exactly. That's how old I am.
Got a good protege. She's Carrie Carabas.
How many? I can't even see 33.5 thousand.
Yeah, that's more Twitter. Like I have 5,000 on Twitter. What do you have?
4.
Yeah, and those
I'm at 12 and a half.
I have 5,000.
Okay.
No, the funny thing was before I'm such a dick. Before I started,
for a guy like me or you, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like who sees it?
No one cares.
You guys, Twitter don't even work for you guys?
You have 5,000 followers. Who cares?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm losing. I lose about 50 a day.
Nobody's on it, dude. It's all about Instagram. Take a picture.
That's
of
what
that
they say, but
dick.
I can't even do it.
And by the time people figure out Instagram, there'll be another thing.
That's why I'm waiting for the next one.
Yeah, it'll be about. It's about
the new one's Grinder. The new one's Grinder.
I'm waiting for the next.
The hottest thing right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I told them, I go, they want to do a show. I go, call it Tired Twats or Two Tired Twats. And Carrie goes, I like it, but Patty don't like it. So I'm like, their show is called Chick Chat. Patty's even older than Carrie.
Who's Patty?
Patty Ross.
Patty Rossborough.
Jesus, these proteges. I got proteges.
Oh, it's pathetic. So I said, call it Two Tired Twats. And then they go, well, it's kind of, I'm like, nobody gives a fuck. No one's going to listen to Chick Chat because even the title is boring.
They're going to record it at the Gyro place in Long Island? Carrie.
You really know Carrie. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. So
the show I did, she's like, lose the smoker's coughs and get to the punchlines quicker.
She told you that?
Okay, yeah, and I turned around to her and I said, okay, like I said again, one gyro special, tzatziki extra with French fries.
You just met her and you guys were talking like that?
Once again, Greek salad on the side, extra dressing. I'm sorry, perhaps
she really can't get too cocky when she's in her fucking restaurant.
No, I would think not.
No, the best part is
funny though. She's hilarious.
No, she is.
She's
the
funny.
best part is with Twitter is like before I started doing Opie and Norton's show, like I've only been doing it for like a year. Before that, I had like 500 Twitter followers. So now when people like that I know that are like even started before me, I'll look on their Twitter and they'll have like 172 Twitter followers. I'm like, I'm like fucking.
It's too easy for people also like they cheat on there. Like they'll have 8,000 followers, but then they're following 12,000 people.
Right.
Like, dude, I'm sorry. There's got to be a rule. Get rid
all
of
about
them.
the
You're only allowed,
ratio.
Like 100 followers.
And Bailey does that. Not to call him out, but I think he follows because he follows as many people as follow him. Like,
I hate when people go, "Follow me, I'll follow you back." What? No, no, I'm not.
And you unfollow.
Yeah, no.
Eric Kravis follows a lot of people, but they're all diners.
She does have a huge Greek following.
She's huge following. Of
Like she'll do a Facebook Live. She always Facebook Lives when she's driving on the LIE, which is probably not a great idea.
Right.
But they're all the names that are commenting. They're all Greek fucking.
Constantina.
Yeah, they're all
Spiro.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The names are so fucking long. There's not even room for the comment. That's how long the names are. But she's a real tired twat. But it's like you got. It's like they are tired twats. So just say what it is.
That will get people to listen to it.
It will, because it's like, and then somebody goes, well, you won't be able to sell advertising on iTunes because of twat.
Yeah.
So first of all, I go cross that bridge when you fucking get to it. You know what I mean? When the advertiser like, you know what? Can you clean it up? And they can clean it up. But Cumtown, they figured out a way.
Yeah, they
get
did.
popular and then worry about it.
What's really smart about those guys is that when you have like either whether it's subscription based or it's a Patreon, you can take creative risks and say whatever the fuck you want because you're not depending on advertisers, which is great. You're depending on your base of listeners, and as long as you keep them happy,
right,
you're in business. That's
what I said about Misery Loves Company because they said, well, you're going to get advertising. I'm like, first of all, Bobby Kelly.
Here we go.
Bobby Kelly, he's the head of Riotcast. It'd be one thing if he didn't have his own fucking show, but if any advertising come to Riotcast, which is never going to happen, and be like, what's going on at Riotcast? Is Nick DiPaolo still extreme right? Well, you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so he's not going to throw me an ad.
Right.
Because they'll be like, what's the show about? He goes, he says cunt a lot for no reason.
Well, I think you got to get it down. Your downloads have to be really high to even get ads. Like I think you'd have to be
nowadays. Yeah. So I was relying on like donations, and so Bobby's like, Bobby goes,
homeless person.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Bobby's like, set up a paywall. I'm like, the paywall is just gonna narrow. It's gonna make people not want to.
And it's also there's never enough content to generate a pay. It's like, hey, it's for free, but if you want it an hour earlier, join this paywall. It's like kind of tough.
Yeah, Bobby would go, you know what? You and Lenny, you guys would have a conversation, and then you tape it, and that's the paywall. I'm like, I wouldn't. That's fucking dumb, you know.
To that.
So I'd rather just do a Patreon thing because that way, even if they're not getting anything, you'd be like, you're still supporting.
Tired twats. What Carrie could do is like behind the paywall, she could have stuffed grape leaves and then just mail them out to people. She could overnight them. Like if you join the network, I will overnight. I'll FedEx you stuffed grape leaves.
I wish she was here. She'd be like, you fucking asshole. I gave you a fucking chance, and look what you did. You're shitting all over my fucking diner.
It was me, her, and Keith Anthony.
Oh, my God. She loves Keith Anthony.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's like, oh, he's the greatest one.
Yeah, they all think he's the great Long Island. They think he's the greatest comic. I know, and I'm like,
I always say there must be two Keith Anthonys because I've never seen the good. I've never seen the good one.
First of all, Keith is a great comic.
Where?
What do you mean where?
I see him. I saw him one time at Dangerfields.
I've known Keith. I
don't give a fuck how long. I know my mom a long time too, and she sucks too.
He's a great comic.
I followed him at Dangerfields one time. The black people were so mad at him, they were still looking in the fucking bar when I was on. They're like, "Where's that motherfucker?" They hadn't got there.
The only critique of Keith is that depending on his mood.
Really?
George Gallo's like this too, where
that's the audience's
he's in
problem.
a bad space, he'll go up there and he's not. Sometimes he won't be consistent. Some guys a
lot of guys will
shout,
and they're called Michael Che, and they're on SNL. So shut the fuck up. You guys are fucking idiots. Sometimes he's in a bad mood. Take your medicine.
Yeah,
it's not complicated,
dude. He's a funny guy, but he's a guy.
Well, so are a lot of people.
He's a great comic.
He makes
weird your roommate's funny too.
No, stop it. But here's the thing. Keith Anthony will be like, he's like 9 degrees. He keeps going back to school to get another degree. Like
he is.
He's got a full-time job now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting a doctorate. I'm like, what?
He's been in school for 37 years.
I thought he was a waiter. I thought he was a waiter.
Why? Because I'm like, dude, and he keeps quitting comedy, and I go, Keith, the reason why things are not happening for you because you keep quitting.
Yeah, but I thought he was a waiter.
He was. No, he works at a restaurant now.
That's like a waiter. Waiters work at restaurants too.
Yeah. Well, he's
a manager
promoted.
now.
Huh?
No, I like the guy. I know Carrie's always like, he's the funniest guy of all time. I'm like,
I mean, if Carrie would fucking do the right thing, she'd hire him at Gyrolicious.
He can work the fucking patio, and now
they have comedy night at Gyrolicious.
I know. She's always like, how much will it take for you to get you out there? I'm like, I can't do Gyrolicious.
Yeah,
I just can't.
You know Keith in the '90s, like.
He was in a New York Magazine article, like top 8 comics to watch. He was like him, CK, Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, in the early '90s, he was like a big deal. He was on Comedy Central's A-list or whatever. He was like
it's impossible.
Yeah.
but
So
then
was
he
Mark
quit.
Cohen.
Then he
Mark
quit
Cohen.
again.
It doesn't matter. No, Keith. I guess I didn't know Keith when I mean I like him because but I just seen him lately. I mean I think he retired from Dangerfield. So when I saw him,
But how you gonna go by Dangerfield? The crowds stink there.
no, first of all, if he bombs like a nightmare bomb and then I kill, what am I supposed to think? Like he just got he was in a bad mood. Like at some point I gotta be like maybe he's not that good.
How come black people don't like him?
Huh?
How come black people don't like him?
Because he just meanders. He just they black people they like immediate gratification. They like fucking chicken.
They like
like sweet things.
Well,
Black people don't go to a comedy club to be tickled. They want to laugh. They got a lot of problems.
That's everybody, I think.
No, but white people be like they'll rationalize it. Black people are like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like why does this guy?
if a
Like,
black
what? Are
audience
you
isn't
fucking
like,
kidding me? I'm not paying child support to pay for the fucking bill here, and you're not making me laugh. Like they get mad. They were like literally going like, what the fuck? Like they were looking at him.
Yeah.
While I was still going
They're
up
not.
on stage.
They're not wrong. You know what I mean? Like
They're never wrong. Black people are never wrong.
like
You can't tell them that; they'll kill you.
No, I'm saying they're never wrong as far as audience. Like when they're laughing, they don't wait for permission. They'll if it's funny they'll laugh, and if it's not funny they'll be like, "What the fuck, man?
Right.
They don't go to
get all
art
sensitive
films.
about
You know what I mean?
stuff
Black
either.
people don't go to art film because they want to have a good time.
right.
They don't want to be like, this is very thoughtful. They don't want to fucking think. They're animals.
This is.
I'm at Mike Racine on Twitter, and
this is behind the paywall, right? A very large
Heavily
paywall.
enforced paywall.
This is. I hope the paywall.
Black people do not have
$1,000. $1,000. I hope you have to pay to hear this episode.
Jimmy quit. Weren't you afraid to do the show with Jimmy?
Oh, no.
Speaking of black people, Jimmy's like, I guess he's half.
Would I be afraid? I don't even know him.
Oh, you said, is Jimmy going to be here?
I said.
Is he the guy that moved Carrie Kravis's chair?
Yeah.
That's
The
hilarious.
guy that was almost punched Kevin out like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Said
so.
he's not the, I said.
Even my wife goes, he almost.
show when he attacked you practically.
What?
I was shocked that you were booking him regularly when he almost beat
That's
you
what
up.
my wife said. She goes, you remember he almost beat the shit out of you in his
Why-
studio?
why-
And I
I'm
go,
not
that's
afraid of him.
right.
I
Like
don't
I
give a fuck.
somehow I forgot. No, it's not like we have a bad relationship. So it gets violent, and then but I forget because
Like the abusive wife. Can't leave the marriage.
Forget.
No, it's like I went from Lenny, who's the biggest stiff of all time, to this guy who's
Lenny's
like
like a
might be
little old
smoking
man,
crack
and he went
before a
from him to
fucking
like a
podcast.
fucking-
Like
What's
I
his
don't know.
deal, the guy? Jimmy? I've never met him.
No, he's got a lot to say, but sometimes you can't shut him up. You know.
Wait, you left the
What's
big,
he like socially?
Kevin,
Nice
you
guy.
left the big part out.
Huh?
You left the part out. He's also black.
What do you mean?
Is he black?
No, I like black people because black people that they're uninhibited. You know what I mean?
Is he black? Is he black or is Hispanic?
He's Martinez, so I think his dad was Hispanic. So whatever, he could make it into the major leagues as a black player as Hispanic.
Dominican
either way.
pitcher?
They're going to take him. No, but the point is that I like black people because they don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Great. They're honest comedy audiences.
So he brings a lot of whatever.
I
and,
saw that
and we don't do fucking sports and news here. So when you got to talk, like you guys did a cooking show,
Right.
Like you said, you guys can talk about cooking. You can.
Right.
You always be like, what's the subject today? A ravioli.
Right.
came so close to hitting Kevin. I literally almost started masturbating.
Do it as Rich Voss. Have you ever heard as Rich Voss?
No.
good.
Okay, so look, Kevin Brennan stinks. Okay, I got more credit than anybody. Look at the size of your head. Didn't you fall off a wall?
So the best part about Voss is that he calls himself a legend. You know, and then when he on Twitter, he'll call himself a legend. Then everyone will attack him, and then he'll be like, "What are you attacking me for?" It's like, well, you call yourself a legend.
Oh no.
Anyway, no, I mean, how long was your podcast, your food cooking
We did
thing?
it for about.
Like 6 episodes.
We did it for a while.
No, but how long was
People listen to my podcast now. I ask them why, and they're like, "Oh, I love Stewed with you and Mike Racine."
Yeah.
There are people that really love their show.
That's what it was called.
It was called Stewed. It's a great fucking name.
That's incredible. I can't believe it
incredible.
didn't fucking take. I could already see the T-shirts.
I know.
Wait, so how long was it?
How long did we do it for?
No, how long was the episode? How long were the episodes?
An hour.
No, because even when when I start working here, I can see the clock right in front of me. So whenever things get slow, I'm like, Jimmy, what do you got on that? And then I'll talk for 10 minutes. When I did the show at Riotcast, there was no fucking clock. I didn't have to clock in. There's nothing corporate about it. So we could stop it.
The hard thing with us is like it got to a point where it's like very hard to just keep talking about food every week.
Yeah. Everything's hard. Everything's hard.
I guess so.
Right.
I mean, anything even when I talk
doing
about
a podcast, you're like, "What's my gimmick? What's the show going to be?"
hook.
But then you're locked into something.
You're into it, and it's kind of like,
hey, you got
but it's like the show, Guys We Fuck. Like, how many guys did they fuck?
well, they're done with that now. Now they just interview whoever.
Yeah.
But it's not.
What's
It's
that
not
show
a
doing
sexual
now?
show anymore.
They're packing the Wilbur Theater.
What?
I know. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So I told it like, come to. It doesn't matter how you get people to listen. Just get them to listen.
Right.
And then
Comedy's
and then
like really done. I really think that the next
but-
wave is like some form of something.
Spoken word.
I don't know if it's
Maybe
spoken
word will make a
but it's like
comeback.
people seem to really just enjoy like listening to other people without
Punchlines.
like the idea of like a guy
by
standing
themselves.
up.
By themselves, they can listen in their car or on
Right,
their
they want to be.
headphones.
Everybody wants to be alone, and then they don't. The idea of like a guy standing up with like for an hour of like boom, 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 boom. It's kind of like weirdly people are just like not into it as much.
Yeah. When even when I go to the train, I see all these people like dudes with things in. I just want to go like, what are you listening to? Because I can't fucking believe they're listening to something.
Right.
'Cause I don't listen to anything. Like I don't even have things. Like I have them when I'm like exercising. I'll listen, but otherwise I won't even listen.
Why don't you and Jimmy do a show called Two Dope Queens? And you're the other dope queen.
Or we should call it Two Dope Kings, and then be like, oh no, there was a Two Dope Queens. And then we get into like
I think tired twats is good. Two tired twats.
great, and
Because
then
that'll
also-
make people at least be curious about the show and want to
Like, what's
listen to
it?
it.
Okay, first of all, they're tired twats. How tired is Carrie?
Tired.
So it's like what, and they're chick chat. Like even when you say like
She still do a lot of comedy.
not a lot.
Yeah.
Long Island.
I mean, she's like a killer, man. Like I remember, like back in the day,
Like
she would-
Keith Anthony.
She would close. She would close out the shows out there. She's a fucking murderer. She's
she
a
is strong.
murderer.
No, I love Keith Anthony. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying it. Like I
He had the personality of a shoe, but he was a great comic.
no, but like
Keith Anthony, his personality was very like.
no, if people
very
tell me
nice.
somebody's
He's so
great,
nice.
and then I see him with my own fucking eyes not being great, I just go
gave me good
somebody's
advice.
lying,
He-
somebody's wrong.
Keith
Somebody's
Anthony
wrong.
told me to move to the city. He told me years ago. He goes, move to the city. He goes, do the Montreal comedy, do all these things. He's like, you'll get seen in groups of people. He's like, Long Island's a joke. He's like, it's like clown college. He was right. He gave me all that advice, and that's one of the reasons I moved like immediately. So I like him a lot. He's very severe. So he's like a serious guy.
He's very intense. He's
very intense.
heady.
Yeah.
He's hilarious off.
Yeah.
When he's like at a show, like he's in his zone.
And he gave me that advice, and it was great advice.
When is he super? When you talk to him off stage, he's super funny.
No, well, he can be.
Tim had a
He's also
post one
very
time.
heady.
Tim had a post one time. It was like the 50 funniest comics in Long Island, and Tim goes, "This is in a way worse than being on the list of victims of the Orlando shooting."
Yeah, the victims of the Orlando shooting were number one, funnier, had more going on in the business.
They have more
Had
credits.
more credits.
Shooter.
Let me ask
more
you.
Credits.
Let me ask because I'm curious. Like we're talking about white guys in comedy. Like what's your 5-year plan? Do you have a 5-year plan?
No,
Much like Stalin's. Have you
I
seen
think-
Stalin's?
yeah.
I like how you look at Tim. Like Tim, you want to take this first?
It's like Stalin's plan.
I think I'm done. I did a half hour last year. It's a good time to get out.
What is your What do you tell your girlfriend? Like after you guys, when you guys are like
I
talking,
want to pick up
and-
garbage.
No, when you're talking in bed, when you're
Yeah.
talking in bed, like whenever you talk about serious stuff, if comedy comes up, like what does she think your plan is?
She thinks I'm gonna like make it, like something's gonna hit, and I'm just like, it's not.
What
I have to pretend I'm a black woman to get a
Like, I
writing
feel
job.
like- I like how Mike, when people are like, no, do it. And you're like, no, I don't want to do it.
What?
They could offer you like an hour special. You're like, no, I'm not worth it.
I think you
care.
should do like Tootsie, where you become a black woman for
Yeah.
a writing job.
Right.
It'd be hilarious. You know? Michaelina.
I do think about like changing my name on a writing packet to just something.
Do you do writing packets?
Yeah.
Who do you try to write for?
I submitted a show to a packet to a 50 Cent show.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my god! I wish I had a fucking pistol near it so I could just fucking.
My 5-year plan is next year, I'd like to do a half hour on Comedy Central, and then year 2, I'd like to get do even some more road stuff. Year 3, I'd like to get a real estate license. Year 4, I'd like to move to San Diego, and year 5, I'd like to be established as a realtor in San Diego. So that's my 5-year.
Wait, are
arc.
you an actor? Can you be an actor?
I mean, you can if they give you a role. It's not.
But do you take acting
good
class?
actor, them.
No.
But isn't acting the way to go? Isn't acting because
I mean,
with
I
all
guess,
these Hulu shows and
I
Amazon
guess,
shows?
sure. I'm not arguing. Yeah, I'm a type though. You know, they want.
Yeah, but that's what they want. They want a type. They don't.
They don't always want a type. They say
Nobody
that.
always wants everything. My wife doesn't always want me to go down on her, but I'm saying a lot of times they do.
Listen, I'm not. If they give me a job, I'll take the job.
But I'm saying you gotta, like Mike writes funny jokes. Mike's funny, but if you think that's the way to go, like you gotta. No, I'm saying you gotta try a little bit that way.
I am trying.
Or else
I'm
quit.
going
Or
on
else
audition.
quit. You and your
I'm on
roommate
audition.
should just open a fucking Greek restaurant and then compete with Carrie on Long
roommate?
Island.
Hey, listen, there's no competing with her.
Who's your roommate?
I can't. I don't want
Can't
to
say his name. He's 40 and
I'm doing fine. I enjoy comedy right now.
I'm saying you can't enjoy. There's nothing to enjoy. It's like
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's a good point. That's a
unless
fair point.
does your girlfriend? She makes money.
Nothing to enjoy.
Yeah, she does all right.
She's a professional. Something.
Yeah.
She wants to have a family.
Yeah.
That's tough. When your
And you're
family's
fucked.
tough.
Yeah.
And you're fucked.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
I
Thank you.
when me and my wife got married, I had so much fucking money compared to how much I have now. Like I had I owned a house. I had money in the bank. I just had shitload of money. And then, but the thing is, even if your wife says she's gonna have a baby and then work, she ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
She's gonna, even if she just says she'll work, she'll come home, she'll bitch for an hour about how she doesn't want to work and about what the fuck are you doing? So I don't know if you guys, I can't really say his name, but Lenny Marcus, he's like, well, what we're gonna do is my wife will get it, she'll have a baby, and then she'll go back to work. She's gonna bitch the whole time, and then you'll have to move to fucking Maine. Because you won't be able to afford anything closer. So this whole thing of like, I'm saying the plans comics have, even if they have unless your wife is a doctor like that comic I wrote, Joe, what's his name, Larson?
Yeah.
Who knows? What are you talking about?
Anyway, his wife's a doctor, and she's a sit-down doctor. She didn't have to. She didn't have to stand up to so she can. She's sitting all day. So when she come home, she can cook something for him.
If you're a man and you can't provide, what's the fucking
You're not a
point?
man. That's my point. So my point is, even if your wife says this, there's too many theoreticals in getting married when you're a comic. Like my wife, as soon as you're not making enough, before you have a kid, she's like, it's fine. And then she's like, you're not a man. Get a fucking job. Get a real fucking job. You know that guy Andy Pitts? His wife basically said to him, I heard, I don't even know if this is true, maybe it's time for you to, he's like, I've done Letterman. She's like, yeah, a lot of people have done Letterman. I don't think she said it, but she should have.
Right.
It's like doing Letterman. Nobody gives a fuck. Get a job. Support your family.
Is that what she said?
Put you on your fuck. Go to Home Depot. Get your orange apron.
And he turns
get
around.
To aisle 4.
He turns around and
Learn
goes,
how to work.
Listen to this bit. He goes, all right, hold on. Stop right there. Listen to this bit.
That's how I always know a bit.
Honey, I got a podcast.
That's how I always know a bit's not going to work when I go, this bit's going to save me.
This bit's-
It's going to be the 5 minutes.
This is going to be the bit.
This is going to be my get her done. This is going to be my.
You want this guy in Lowe's? Wasting
But I'm saying, there's too many, women don't know. I want to have I have a seminar this summer. I'm not going to teach anything about comedy. I'm going to teach the real world about reality. Women, theoretically, could say this,
You
but
need
it's
a woman to take a ride on. Listen, you need a damaged woman who watched her mother take care of her father.
What, he was sick, though? No, he had to be very sick.
He had to be sick or abusive.
Otherwise, he would get a job. Comics just sit home and go honey, I'm writing.
Yeah.
So my wife goes, what are you doing? She walks in, I'm sitting there drinking a fucking cup of tea. She goes, what are you doing? I go, I'm writing.
Yeah.
She goes, you're not doing anything. You're just sitting there watching TV.
Funniest things I've heard. I've been on the phone with my friends who are comics and their wives work, and I've heard them say this to their wives. They go like this. They go, hey, aren't you going to be late? Hey, aren't you going to be late? You might want to get a move on.
Hey, don't be late for work because we'll lose our health insurance.
Me and Tim Dillon are talking about a web series that'll never happen.
No, but the point is, there's a lot of theoreticals until women get they get swollen ankles, and they don't want to, as soon as they have a baby, it's the most unnatural thing in the world to go to work once you have a baby.
Right.
So they can say they'll go back to work. They don't want to fucking go back to work. They don't want you to watch their kid. They want to watch their own fucking kid. They want some African lady with fucking ropes on her hair. They don't want anybody like that to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they better get used to it.
No, but I'm saying, so it don't work. All the theoreticals, they don't work. Because like I said, I had had it. You can't imagine how good I had it
why
before my wife got pregnant. And then afterwards, it's a fucking. And even now, we're hitting like a little bit of easier time, but it's still a fucking nightmare. Like Mother's Day was ruined.
Why?
Because they ruin everything. They don't want to sit around and wait for the fucking entree. That's not what kids are good at. That's why let's go to Panda Express. It's right at the mall. Yeah. There's no waiting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of tables there.
That's nice.
No, it's
Panda Express.
They like it. I like it. Everybody likes it. But my
Day.
wife, she's fancy. She wants a fucking.
She doesn't want somebody overdosing on heroin next to her at Panda Express.
Yeah. No, I mean that's
some homeless guy with a big foot just banging it on the fucking floor.
So I gotta ask.
Mother's Day.
Wait, are you gonna have like a relationship or something? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but it's different with gay people because we're all damaged anyway. So it's not gonna be like you're never gonna. Gay guy's never gonna be like get a job.
But gay guys they make so much money, and you don't have to have a baby.
Right. Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good move.
And you can stay home.
You can watch my kid.
Yeah, but no gay dude is gonna. Nobody wants to support anybody. Nobody wants anybody to be a loser.
If they think you're funny,
guys don't care. They don't really care. They think they're funny.
Yeah, but some gay guys, don't they want you to be like a loser, and that way you'll have no self-esteem, and that
a lot of them don't. Most of them want, because they'll find that loser. That loser's going to have a six-pack. He's going to be 23 years old. He's going to be a fucking gymnast, and that's the guy who's a loser. Like a guy like me, I better make money. Like if you're eye candy, you can just walk around and with your shirt off. There are gay dudes that walk around with their shirt. I'm eye candy, but like the Dutch candy that you eat, and it's called droop, and it makes you feel sick. So those gay dudes are like, listen, they're.
No, you don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Maybe there's no accounting for taste.
No, I think like a handsome gay dude might just like you because they could bring you to a party and make everybody laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, let's
fall down a lot.
Hope that's
show me your belly.
Landing a cake.
Look at me. Look at my boyfriend. Show everybody his back.
And several years later, they're like, get a job. I'm like, you know how many times I've fallen down in front of your friends?
I got a bloody nose at a party.
I threw myself down the stairs at Christmas. It was hilarious. I love the idea of that guy going, but I've done Letterman. Is the fun?
Yeah. I heard that as a.
It doesn't even matter if it's true.
But I shouldn't even name names. But it's called burning bridges.
It's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
No, but it's like
he's at a table with his wife. He puts the knife and fork down. He goes, the Letterman.
Oh, even worse than that. Even worse than that. I was gone.
I did Lopez tonight.
In the early '90s, when Keith Anthony was taking off, and I was going nowhere. I remember I was like, I was about to go broke. I was gonna have to move. I couldn't afford my apartment, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening? I've done 2 evenings at the Improvs. Like, I really thought that. I wasn't even being like fucking snarky. I was like, what the fuck? I thought that was making it, you know? Because before I started, I would see guys on the evening at the Improv. I'm like, these guys are fucking great, and I've done 2 of these, and I can't afford my apartment.
You're like, I want to be John Biner.
Yeah, you just want to be like one of those guys. It's just like, I'm a comic. But I'm saying, like, now you can't just be a comic. You can't, because, like, when you go to the fucking San Antonio, they don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Unless you're Hispanic, they don't give a fuck. And even in New York, you're a New Yorker, they don't give a fuck.
They don't care.
Even if you go to Brokerage on Long Island, they still don't give a fuck.
Nobody really cares about stand-up. It's hard to, they like your podcast and maybe do a live podcast and people come out to hear it. But even that is, like you got to just, get people to subscribe or to pay you money for something.
Yeah, but the problem with that is
I do a show on this tour bus because it's like I used to be a tour guide. So I just pack like 60 drunks on a tour bus and yell at them and we drive through the city. That more people want to do that than see me at a club.
I want to do that right now.
Yeah, more people hate going to comedy clubs, but the idea of just being on a bus hammered,
because it's different. It's the spectacle.
People like it.
But do you make enough money because you got to pay the tour bus?
It's like I make I gotta pay the tour bus like $1,000 for the rental. So it's like what I make is contingent on when I do it. Like, do I do it on a weekday, weekend, whatever? And but it's a thing that people like to do because it's different.
The one where I have like the paywall I never wanted to do, so that's kind of why the other show broke up. But I heard it was dumb. So even with the Patreon, like the problem with Patreon is like fans are gonna be like, hey man, I'm moving this weekend. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? Like they want it. Like if they give you some money, they want a piece of you. You know what I mean? And
right.
That's really weird.
For shit.
Huh?
No one's gonna pay for shit anymore.
No, they'll donate. They'll donate $4. And then they want to hang out with you, or they want to fucking tweet you like 3 a.m, like, hey, you still up? Like if they see me tweeting when I come home from doing stand up, they go, hey, one guy texted me, goes, you still up? He didn't text me, but he did a Twitter DM. because he said, you know, a couple weeks before, he goes, "Can you follow me? It would be good for my self-esteem." I don't know, but then he goes, "You still up?" I'm like, is this a fucking booty call?
Well,
like, what the fuck?
Are mentally ill. You know, some of the people listen to my show text me or DM me. They go like, "This show's keeping me around," and I go, "Well, I got to be honest.
Can I have $5?
Have you seen our Patreon?"
No, I know.
Venmo me. What about Venmo, Kevin? Can they Venmo you $1 or something?
It's a money transferring cashless.
Peer-to-peer.
When we did our show, some guy offered us. He was like, "Can I send you guys some money?"
Yeah, we should have fucked up.
$6 would be sweet, right?
That'd be nice.
But what are they? So it's the same as Patreon?
No, it's just
no,
a money
Venmo's
thing.
just you go out to lunch with somebody, you don't have cash, you go, "I'll Venmo you." It's an app. It's all poor shit.
No, but it's like if you can make money, even the thing with the cum towns, like it's still limited. You know what I mean?
Even podcasts that are big are limited by the fact that it's like the best money is live money.
Right.
So if you can get people out to see you live, that's the best money you'll make, unless you get a huge TV show out of it.
But even then, it's the money is the live money.
The live money's great money.
'Cause even Louis tells me, he goes, I could do a movie, I could do anything, but I make all the money going on tour.
Live.
They were like, "Hey, y'all, we got a special guest on Two Dope Queens today, Kevin Brennan."
Kevin Brennan. He's the third dope
And then
queen.
black people, you know, they don't get it.
Irish people have had it horribly.
And these black
The best
people
part
with
about
ropes in
black
their
people-
hair. I still am trying to figure that line out.
What'd I say?
Like that black woman with ropes in her hair.
No, because you see black women on the train, they have rope. It's not hair, it's rope. It's like blue rope. I'm like, what the fuck is it?
It's a weave.
But it's not. It's beyond a weave. It's like you want to fucking climb up and like eat her head or whatever.
Two
like
Dope Queens like, "Why does Greer Barnes have so many kids?"
Yeah. They just like look at him with a look. That's a great SNL skit.
What?
They put Kevin Brennan on Two Dope Queens. It's like the best SNL skit I've ever heard. He's sitting in the middle, and everything he says, they just turn around like this.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast. I'm not even going to say the name because I don't think I remember. But the thing about black people that's the funniest, even if you tell them a fact, there'll be a fact about them, they're offended. You know what I mean? Like if you say black people commit more crimes or than Asian people that go like, "I know an Asian guy that committed a crime." It's like, no, we're not talking about what you know.
Right.
We're talking about facts. Like even if you tell them facts, they resent it because they dispute it, everything. So I might as well say it. I don't give a fuck. What are they gonna do? Like all they can do is listen. I don't expect them to donate my Patreon.
Yeah, so race is an interesting topic.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's a real,
Let's get into
real
it.
loaded topic. You know,
You guys did your cooking show, did you?
a lot of times it went from gnocchi very quickly into
Involved, yeah.
a race war.
No, because sometimes certain foods are like Italian or
We used to fight
Polish
about
or-
it. It's fight. We just got. It's like you get sick of food.
No, but
you
even
can't
when I
talk about sandwiches.
even when
I was telling him about the Food Network show we tested for.
Oh God! What's great about that is like you think comics are desperate and sad. There are food
Personalities, aspiring food
personalities that want to be on TV that are also sad.
What do they smell like? Do they smell like food?
They smell like garlic, and they walk in and they have like there's everybody on the Food
buttoned up
Network has a shitty knockoff. Like there's a fat lady who wants to be
the
Paula
South,
Deen,
yeah.
whose son. She's like, "I like butter, and I make a redneck grilled cheese." It's like, shut up. And everything she makes is she's like, "It's bacon, lard, and cheese, and mayonnaise, deep fried butterball turkey."
She was telling us a story about how like she had a heart attack and then she decided she was going to live how she wanted to.
Yeah,
so I'm like, this lady had a fucking heart attack and her answer was more bacon.
She's like, "My aorta exploded," and then I realized that
Life is too short. I got to eat more pie.
My
Yeah.
life was super
fucking
short.
And then there was
slob.
like an Asian chick who was like, "I'm a wellness expert. It's about being whole." It's like, shut the
Clean
fuck
eating
up.
and stuff.
you know?
Yeah. Tim
It's
goes,
like what
remember when we turn your people into dust?
I was like, remember that with a hole? Remember that? So we didn't get that.
Any
We did not
theme,
get
whenever
that
I see a theme, I just go like, "Oh, who's that guy? Sean Donnelly, defend your movie." I'm like,
Yeah, I hate
oh
that.
my God,
I love
like-
him, but
Oh,
I hate
do.
that.
I love him too. I got him into Comedy Store, but I'm like, how defend? Like he does all the like nobody gives a fuck
Right.
unless it's The Godfather.
Which
you know,
is funny. It's like we have literally. It's like we're on the verge of civil war, and then like he's like defend
Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious. What do you think? You think it's what is that? The sound of bombs outside? Pay no attention.
No, I know. So I think anything you do, you get stuck on. Like How I Met Your Mother. Like, you know what I mean? After a while, you're like, it's a good hook, but then
They made millions.
But then I'm just saying, like, as a okay, yeah,
At that
bad
point, they just. He's talking the most successful show on TV.
Yeah.
He's like, they live in mansions and they you take helicopters, but still, you're still locked.
What was
into
that show that was supposed to go on forever? And it was good. Like all these shows where they go like, oh, that's great. And then after a year, people are like, yeah, well, we got sick of the fucking hook.
You know
what happened to Two Broke Girls? Why did that go off the air?
I don't know, man.
Broke Girl sucked. And I'm friends with the guy who like created it. And it's a fucking horrible
I used
show.
to love that there would be like that laugh track and they wouldn't even say a joke. The girl would be like, where's my sock? I don't know.
See, I'm not listening because unless you talk as Voss, say it as Voss.
Okay, that show sucked. Okay, it was a horrible show. Okay, it stinks.
Make you happy?
Wait, are you doing his roast?
I can't. I'm on my way. But I'm going to see if I can do it by Skype.
Oh my God, you're not doing it. Then why even do it then?
What?
Are you guys got anything to plug?
I'm doing the Proctor's Theater in Schenectady.
No, you're not. Then why are you worried?
What?
Why are you worried about your future?
It's like a $400 gig.
It's a one-nighter in the basement.
One-nighter in
It's a theater.
Dude, there's
Kevin,
fucking 9 rooms.
Yeah.
What are you new? What are you new to this?
I don't know.
We're
Like,
making shit up.
I don't know those.
I'm doing a Proctor's
You're right. I'm
Theater.
selling out theaters.
Yeah,
I don't know those
He's on a
Met-
theater tour.
Yeah.
Are you nuts?
I don't know those Metro North gigs.
It's a downstairs for everybody who couldn't get into whatever fucking faggoty play they were doing on the main level. They couldn't get into the Curious Incident and the dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a fucking nightmare. No, plus when you go up there, they don't even want to hear. Like the first time I worked like out of the city, I took a train.
your hot
It
dog
was like
jokes.
7 stops, and I would do New York jokes, and I'm like,
Schenectady is also other than that theater, Schenectady is a wasteland of just meth zombies.
It is?
I mean, it's just prescription drugs and people running around with blue lips. And
You used to do drugs?
I did, but I didn't do them in Schenectady.
They're like, Tim, you're the reason I haven't died of a meth
Yeah,
overdose.
Schenectady's real bad up there. Schenectady's like, they're like, you like, is there any way, like, I asked the
Did
lady.
you do drugs on Long Island?
Yeah.
That's better than Schenectady.
Dude, everything's better than Schenectady. Have you been to Schenectady?
Where would you do drugs on Long Island?
It's my friend's Range Rover.
And
Parked outside of his fucking Israeli dad's house.
you smoke crack or whatever?
No, we do lines of blow. We'd swim in a pool. I mean, it was a great childhood. But you're in Schenectady. What do you do? It's like gummo. You're sitting in a fucking above ground pool without water in it, huffing glue.
I thought they had money
Listening
in
to some guy
Schenectady.
talk about money in Schenectady. They had like one GE plant that's now like, it's been invaded by like hipsters. It's not even a plant anymore. They're doing fucking improv shows in it.
Yeah.
Is it near Poughkeepsie? Is it near
Tend to make electricity, you poor
Is it
bastard.
near Poughkeepsie?
Oh, yeah. It's all up there in the
I thought
horror.
it was closer to Westchester.
I feel like Kevin's line on what's going on is Tom Cassidy.
Yeah. Tom Cassidy just feeds Kevin
I was going to be
information.
so mad because he goes, when are you going to have me back? I go, no, when it's guys of your generation, you know. So then Mike goes, can I be on your show? I go, yeah, but bring Tim because you were the big get that Tom was going to get. He goes, why don't you have Tim on the show?
That's very sweet.
So then I asked Mike.
Tom's worthless.
So then I asked Mike to do it,
Like
and I'm
Tom's
like,
life has no value.
well, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I cut out the middle, man.
Every time I see Tom, he's just miserable scribbling in a book. I'm like, what are you even doing? He's just scribbling. I'm like, he's like writing the greatest code ever known to man.
You
Like,
guys, you guys like him, right?
I love him. I think he's a great guy.
I like him too. I just, I can only yell at him for so long. You know what I mean? Because the first
Does he work here? What does he do?
The first show we did here, nobody showed up but him. So I kept saying, "You're a fucking stiff." I kept yelling at him because he wouldn't talk. And then he goes, "I got a good story. I just got fired from my job."
What's he doing like right now? Where is he? Like what is it?
Minute?
Any minute.
So he had
gun in
a
his
he had
Is he in his underwear about to kill himself?
Yeah, like what's he
he
doing?
had a job and he got fired. He was working at some theater. And then he got fired. And then he goes, I got a great story. Then he told the story. I go, well, tell us the great story. I go, that was the great story? Oh, we're all in a jam now. That was my
I love how
first.
somebody whose life is like, it just has a miserable thing in their life. They're like, I got a great bit out
It
of it.
wasn't even
And
good.
they do the bit. You're like, that's horrible.
And they said, Tom, clean out your locker. And I said, okay. That's the story.
Then they said, get out of here.
And he goes, he goes,
Zero.
he goes, the boss lady, he goes, then when I was leaving,
First problem.
he goes, when I was leaving, I saw the boss, and she was leaving at the same time, and I was gonna go up and say something to her, but I didn't. I go, that's the end. That's the
Worst
end of the story.
By the way, you should have been fired with that type of.
No, that's what I was on her side. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, you're a fucking. What do you do? What do you bring into the thing? So it's this low energy. Even in a low energy theater, you're low energy. You know.
Right, it's true.
So it's just like the whole thing with the podcast, or no. My point to Tom was like, Tom, as a white guy, you got to
do something,
bring
right?
up the volume. You can't
Something.
You can't. You got to you got to kill somebody. You know what I mean? You got to.
He will.
You can't just be like, hey, look, there's a white guy and say nobody gives a fuck. So that's why I'm asking your plan. Mm-hmm. And then I ask your plan and Bob's plan. Bob, what's your plan?
He's lucky enough to be gay.
They don't care.
But they don't buy it. If you were like a big, you should wear in the summer. You should wear like a big pink eye.
Yeah, they don't.
Like some of your.
They don't care. Like they don't even.
Some of your fattest.
I go in for the same parts as Donnelly. Me and Sean Donnelly audition for the same shit.
You should.
Grave digger, ferry worker, dock worker, degenerate gambler.
What's your plan, Bob?
Mine ended a month ago.
Yeah, but you have a girlfriend too, right?
Do, yeah.
It's a long distance relationship because he lives in New Jersey and she lives on Long Island, so they can't really see each other that much. Massapequa. But when in New York, that's a long distance thing because you can't.
This is long.
It
works
2 hours to get
when you're a comic. It works when
ferry.
It's a
boat.
Oh, he fucks his
taking
girlfriend, then he puts her
jitney.
on a ferry back to the Big Apple, and then she has to get the fucking train if it's working.
She's got a real job.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Anyway, I had it all going. I'm saying even if you think you're doing okay, you're not.
Did your wife work?
Married.
Yeah.
No, my wife. I thought she would be all right because she had like a whatever. She worked retail, but then she don't want to. She's on her feet. You know, that's what I'm saying. Get a doctor who's not on their feet. That's a good job. Like that Joe guy who I'm supposed to get into the Comedy Cellar. Anyway, Bob DeBono at Bob DeBono. On Twitter, Tim Dillon at Tim J. Dillon.
Yeah, I have a podcast called.
Can I finish?
Sorry.
Mike Racine at Mike Racine. And you have a podcast called what?
It's called Tim Dillon's Going to Hell. Please check that out. I'll also be performing at Gyrolicious with Carrie Karavis in the
One
near
of the
future.
specials.
Hopefully. Please come for comedy and a Greek platter.
So who do you do your podcast with?
Just guy Ray Kump, who's like a homeless guy. No, I'm kidding. He's not homeless, but he's just like, he used to be.
You fired Mike?
No, we just stopped talking about food. We got to a point where we just can't talk about lasagna every week.
Are you doing a podcast?
I'm trying to do it, but I don't know what it's going to be.
What? Am I doing a podcast?
Yeah.
I have one.
I'll be at we're losing at Stone Harbor. What the fuck is it? Disregard these glasses. May 20th, I'll be in Stone Harbor, New Jersey, Harbor Square Theater in the Square, and website Hudson Web Development. It's a great website maker. God bless America. I thought I was going to say something important today, but I never got around to it. But come town and guys, we fucked.
in Cassidy.
Started like, how about a podcast called
They could
I Have
use the
AIDS?
numbers, you know?
I have AIDS, but you don't.
Yeah.
Then you keep saying how you got AIDS and when you're going to reveal how your AIDS is going, but you never really get to it because you're always
That's
talking
like
about
every
food or
show
whatever.
It's like 1998. It's not even AIDS anymore. You got to have like.
HIV. You
gotta-
and it's like H period I. So then it's like
You got to
it's not even-
join ISIS. If you want a good podcast.
We joined ISIS, the podcast.
We joined ISIS, and you broadcasted from Syria. We joined ISIS.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Thanks to the guests. I still can't talk. This fucking NyQuil.